What's going on, folks? My name is Josh and I am the Outdoor Dude. Thanks for coming back to my channel. In today's video, guys, we're going to be talking to you about my top 5 creek fishing baits, so stick around.
Look at that big mamma jamma, folks.
Alright guys, now if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. I do all sorts of educational content and I do all sorts of actual fishing videos, some bow stuff. I'm getting into hunting. It's going to be really awesome and you're not going to want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button down there and make sure you hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you when I do a new video. They've been having a lot of problems with that, so you want to make sure you hit that bell and you'll get notified. Alright, so my top 5 creek baits. Guys, I love creek fishing. I grew up on a creek. I grew up fishing on a lot of old school kind of baits that are widely used in the north, but you don't really see too many people using them out there anymore. And these things are just, they're tried and true, they're heavy hitters, and I'm going to show you what they are. First off, guys, in no particular order, just to start the list, I'm going to go with an all-time classic, and that is the inline spinner. And they come in all different kinds of variations. These things are awesome in the creeks. They do great work, they give you great action. And obviously there's all sorts of different sizes and different makers and different colors. The ones you might have seen in my previous videos where I do a little bit of junk fishing in a creek and I went out fishing and I threw only a Blue Fox style spinnerbait. And these things are great. Just about everything that swims in the water will hit one of these, as long as it sees it as a reasonable sized meal. Another spinnerbait, another inline spinnerbait that really works well for me are these Mepps inline spinners with a minnow on the back. These things are awesome. I've actually caught nice bass on these. Almost caught a ling once on it, but I bent that hook out and lost them. But these things are great. And obviously you want to run these types of spinnerbaits with a barrel swivel so you don't get line twist. But these have a great flash, a great action, and a great realistic look to them in the water. And you won't be disappointed running one of these. If you want to check out how these spinnerbaits actually work, I'll put a link right up here to a creek fishing video where I went out junk fishing and I just threw this one spinnerbait all day. I caught a couple different species of fish, so check that out. Next up here in the north is going to be a tried and true heavyweight hitter, and that's going to be the white jig. They're just a white ball head jig. A bunch of different people make these, but I like the big one. You can compare it to a lighter to see how big this one actually is. And I believe this is a 3/4 ounce. Half ounce. This one's a lead ball head. So I like to put a white grub on these, and I would have shown you this one first, but this one's a little bit beat up. You can see that I've bounced this one off a bunch of rocks and stuff like that. These things work great. Pike will hit these, bass will hit these, smallmouth will hit these, pickerel, all sorts of fish will hit even this small little bait right here. And you could fish it a ton of different ways, whether you hop it on the bottom, or you could drag it on the bottom more like a football jig, or you can just swim it, and it works a bunch of different ways. Great bait. Next up, what I like to run, and you guys might have seen it in some of my other videos, I'll put a link in the description right up here to one where I caught a nice size northern pike on a little Clio. It wasn't this color, it was the Perch color. But I got these little Clio spoons are really awesome. Spoons in general are really awesome in creeks and rivers. And the Daredevil is one that definitely comes to mind for most of us northern fishermen here in upstate New York, maybe Michigan, Minnesota, Canada, all across the north. These things are widely known and they are awesome lures. The little Clios are amazing as well. Spoons are definitely a little bit lost on the newer generation of fishermen that are into bass. Bass will hit these, but these will also catch walleye, pike, pickerel, all sorts of different fish will bite these lures. These are a great staple to have in your tackle box if you're going to walk the creeks and go creek fishing. Throw one of these out and you could get hit by a monster in a different variety of species. So go get yourself some spoons and have fun. Next up is going to be one of my favorite creek baits for bass. If it's not a spinnerbait, it's going to be the bladed jig or the chatterbait. These both are actually Z-Man chatterbaits. I've got the bluegill pattern and I've got the white shad pattern. When I'm down closer to the lake in the creeks, in the deeper water, the slower moving current, but there's a lot of water, they do some great work by allowing you to cover a lot of ground and you could get nailed by a wide variety of species. I've got a video where I actually caught a northern pike on one of those in a river that I'll put a link into the info card right up here. Now the chatterbait comes through grass really well. It's got a really nice large profile that will attract large fish, but at the same time it's not too big to where some smaller fish wouldn't think about biting it. Last on the list is another heavy hitter here in the north, and that would be the two-way spinner. These come in a different variety of makers, and they come in a different variety of colors, but it's essentially a pre-rigged line for you with a snell knot on there and a small hook, little bait keeper. And it's got a little spinner and 4 beads on there. A buddy of mine showed me what to do with these, and you rig these up and you fill this hook with a giant night crawler, craw or crayfish, wherever you are in the country, however you like to say it. But you fill this hook with a giant worm and get it all on there real good. Don't let too much of it dangle off. And throw this down in some current and just let it sit. And this will spin in the current, and it'll just sit there. You could do plugging, is what they like to call it. And you sit in the creeks or in the river. You throw this out there and let it sit in the current. I've seen all sorts of different fish bite this, from creek chub to fall fish to northern pike and 4-pound smallmouth in the middle of rapids. These are heavy hitters. So go get yourself some of these two-way spinners, throw on some night crawlers, and you could catch just about whatever swims in the creek. Alright guys, now that was my top 5 favorite creek fishing baits. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I'm going to put links in the description to all of the baits that I talked about in this video. And yes guys, they are affiliate links. I do not make a lot of those off each link. It's a very small amount, but it is greatly appreciated, and it helps me continue to make videos for you guys. And I greatly appreciate every last one of you that use those links. It really helps. Thank you guys. Alright guys, this is where I'm going to end the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button right there. And check out one of these 2 videos. Or how about that one? And I'll see you guys next time.